Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, we are from Group 6. Today we will represent you our mini project, which is water billing system. Okay, next, here's our table of contents, which is first overview. We will overview our team members, our client, and our objectives. And then introduction to programming language and their advantages. Okay, the third one is overview of the programming, the explanation of program coding and results. Okay, next, first overview. Okay. Firstly, we will introduce you our group members. Okay, first one is Ahmad Faiz Daniel bin Abdul Salam, which is the our group team leader, our group leader. Okay, and then Muhammad Amrudania, which is me, the assistant. Okay, next, our client. Okay. Our client for this project is Pengurusan Air Selangor Sdn Bhd, or other name Air Selangor. A Selangor state-owned corporation manage the Selangor Waterworks. Air Selangor is Malaysia's largest water operator, providing safe and drinkable water to about 8.4 million consumers in Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, and Putrajaya. Okay, next, our objectives. Our objective developing this program is to develop a program that is the consumer to check their water bills, then to provide any such information through the program. Okay, next, to provide time saving and simple program to generate water bills. Okay, next, introduction. Introduction to programming languages. Okay. This system will run by high-level programming language with dynamic semantics, which is Python. Python has recently become one of the most widely used programming languages on the planet. Everything from machine learning to website development and software testing use it. It is suitable for both developers and non-developers. Python is a programming language for creating websites and software, as well as automating process and conducting data analysis. Python is a general purpose programming language, which means it can be used to develop a wide range of applications and isn't tailored to any problem. It has become one of the most widely used programming languages due to its versatility and beginner friendliness. Okay, for your information, we are using Tony software to develop this program. Okay, the advantages of selected programming languages. Okay, first advantages of Python is it is easy to read, learn, and write. Okay, Python is a high-level programming language that has English-like syntax. This makes it easier to read and understand the code. Python is really easy to pick up and learn. That is why a lot of people recommend Python to beginners. You need less lines of code to perform the same task as compared to other major languages like C or C++ and Java. Uh, the next one, advantages of Python is improved productivity. Python is a very productive language. Due to its simplicity of Python, developers can focus on solving the problem. They don't need to spend too much time in understanding the syntax or behavior of the programming language. You write less code and get more things done. Okay, the next one is portability. In many languages like C or C++, you need to change your code to run the program on different platforms. This is not the same with Python. You only write once and run it everywhere. Anyway, the next one is overview of the programming. The explanation of program coding and result. The explanation will be had by our group members, Ahmad Faiz Daniel bin Abdul Salam. I will pass to him to explain about the program coding.
So thank you, my friend. I'm Rodina. I will show the source code. So as you can see, this is the source code that we use, that we make by using Python. So this is mini project group sheet, which is consists of the member, which is me, Faiz Daniel, and my friend Amirul Daniel. So the first part, it will show the display system grid. It will show welcome to Clearwater SDM about a little bit about the company detail, and then we need to define the first user and second user. So for the username, it will be two part. It, it will be two part, which is the first user, domestic user. As sorry. So for the first part, we define the username, which is consist of two person, that is domestic user and industrial user. So we need to match the username with the password, which is the domestic user. We need to match with the password, which is 16999. And for the industrial user username, we need to match with the password 34000. And then after we put the password and the username, we can go to my menu. So for the menu, it will be show it will be four options at the main menu, which is A, background information, B, account information, C, bill information, and D, exit. Then it will also the menu option A, if we choose the option A. So the system, we will be using the defined variable, which is background info. After we put the background, after that, it will display the background of company, and then it will display a little bit about the Clearwater company, and then it will display a little bit about company Shabas. So after all of those information, we will get option to return to my menu. After that, we will be choosing the option B, which is the first user, or we can say domestic user. So this part we will be using the if variable. So if we enter the username, domestic user, and then input the password 16999, it will show the customer information data as we can see. And then it will display all of the customer information data. After that, we will be given option to return back to menu. So for the for this part, it will be show the second user information. But for this, we need to exit and and go to we need to exit and input the username and password for the second user. Then it will show the second user customer information data, display a little bit about customer information data, and at the bottom, we can get option to go back to my menu. So the next part, after we choose the after we return to menu, we will put the option C, which is the customer bill information. So for this part, we will be using the defined variable bill info. As we can see, if we put the username domestic user and password 16999, it will show the domestic user bill information. And then we display the customer water consumption for this period. And after all of that, as we can see below, for this part, this calculation, it will be calculated based by the first user, which is the domestic user, calculation by Selangor Air Water Tarif. And then after that, after we put the calculation, after we press the customer consumption water value, it will display tarif for domestic user, and then it will display the amount that customer need to pay and give option to return back to my menu. Also, for the second user, this one we will be using the if variable. As we can see, if we put the username industrial user and password 34000, it will display the industrial user bill information. So the water consumption is 92 meter cube. If we put the 92 meter cube at the variable here, it will show it will display tarif for domestic user and then display the amount that customer need to pay. Also same at the bottom, we will be option to return back to menu. So as we return back to menu, we will be choosing the option 4, which is exit. Then it will display greet and farewell for user. Okay, so for this part, I will define the login for user. As we can see, if we put the login correctly, it will display the enter correct username and password to continue. So below we can see we will be using the variable y if f statement. So for the next part, we will be define the my menu. As we can see, put the input which is welcome to my menu and the 4 options that we use at the menu. And for the variable, we will be using the if statement. So after that, this is for the line 3 to 5 until 331. All of these are just display system grid background. We will just display. So for the line 33 and below, we this variable we will be using the while if else statement. As we can see, if we will be using the input which is username and then input which is enter the password and so on. So that's all for the source code. I will be I will be passed to my friend Amiruddin to explain about to explain and run the result and output display. Thank you.
Okay, now I will explain about the second part. Okay, if you run the program, it will show the system greetings, which is welcome to the Clearwater Neighborhood. Okay, then we are required to input the username and password. Whether the domestic or industrial. Okay, then we will put the username, which is domestic user.
Yeah. Second industrial.
Ya.
Industrial tadi domestik lah. Ni kan yang kedua.
Oh, ni industrial lah.
Uh-uh.
Tadi kau dah tunjuk ni ke? Result dia?
Oh iyalah. Aduh. Aduh, aku lupa lah.
Dia kena,
Macam mana
dia
ni?
kena.
Oh, ni kat lah.
Tak apa ni kat je.
Okay, sekali lagi. Aduh, siap aku ingat. Aduh. Okay, sekali lagi.
Tak boleh, boleh. Nanti aku kat
Ya.
yang ni.
Hmm. Aku nak patah balik ke apa? Ke cakap dulu?
Masuk ke yang mana? Ni nak domestik dulu lah.
Domestik dulu lah. Dah lah.
Ah.
Aku silap. Betul dah. Aku silap.
So nanti kau nak buat yang mana balik? Ya. Tadi yang
Sayang.
aku
Aku rasa part aku habis dah. Kira, okay. Yang ni start part hang ni. Explain lah pasal ni.
domestik lah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now I will explain about my part. Okay, if you run the program, it will show the system greetings, which is welcome to Clearwater Berhad. Okay, then at the bottom, we will require to insert the username and password, which is in caps lock. Okay, enter the username, domestic user. Okay, next the password. Okay, after we are successfully logged in with the correct username and password, it will show the menu which you have 4 options, which is first background information, second account information, third bill information, fourth exit. Okay, then we are need to choose the option that we want. Okay. As example, the first one is background information. Okay, enter. Okay, then if we are choosing the option one, it will show the company information about our, our company, which is Clearwater, and then about Shabas, which is Ais Selangor. Okay, next, uh, we can press enter to return to menu. Okay. Okay, next, we will choose the option 2, which account information. Press 2, enter. Okay, then if we choose the option 2, it will show us customer information data, which is name, address, account number, bill number, meter number, and so on. Okay, as before, we press enter to return menu. Okay, then we will go to option 3, which is bill information. Okay, press 3, then enter. Okay, if we choose the option 3, it will show us the bill information, which is now this is bill information for domestic user. So here's, as you can see, it will show us the meter number, account number, as the state, multi-unit or single unit, and so on. Also, at the bottom, it will show us the total consumption for this period, which the shown data with the this period total consumption is 45 cubic meter. Okay, then at the bottom last one, we will require to enter the customer consumption. So please input the water consumption. Okay, for example, 45. And press enter. Okay, now after we key in the water consumption, then it will show us the total amount to be paid, which the total consumption will be calculated with the tariff set by Ais Selangor. This tariff is for domestic user, so we will get the total amount to be paid, which is RM 46 ringgit 85 cent. Okay, then after we already got the total amount to be paid, okay, we can press enter to return to menu. Okay, then to exit, you can choose the option 4 to exit. Okay, press enter. Okay, after we are choosing the option 4, it will show us the greetings and farewell. Then we also you can leave your feedback at clearwaterselangor@gmail.com. Okay, that's all from me for domestic user.
So for this part, I will explain and run the system for the second user, which is industry user. So same as before, we will be given to put the username and password. So after we successfully log in, it will show the menu same as before. Have so we will be given 4 options. So I will choose the first option, which is background information. Same as before, it will display the little bit about the company, summary about Clearwater, and summary about Shabas. And then we will enter to go back to menu. So for the second option, we will go to the account information. So as we can see, this is the customer information data for the second user, which is industrial user. We can see his name, address, account number, bill, and so on. After we have done see the customer information data, we need to go back to bill information. Choose string, and then it will display the industrial user information, bill information. As we can see, it will show meter number, account number, state, and so on. At the below, it will show the total consumption for this period and total consumption water for this period, which is 92 meters cube. So we need to put the customer consumption. After that, we will display the industrial tarif code for Ais Selangor. And then at the below, it will show the total amount to be paid, which is RM 202 and 41 cent. Then we can go back to menu. If we have done, see the industrial bill information. So we go to the last option, which is option 4 exit. Same as my friend has explained, it will show the greeting and farewell and a little bit information about how to leave us feedback and so on. So that's all from our group 6. Thank you.
Okay, thanks to Faiz. That's all from us. Thank you and goodbye.